I can't believe you're still working, I said, watching Isabella type as the city lights reflected off her office windows. It's past midnight. She didn't look up. Deadlines don't care about sleep, Ethan. You should know that by now. I leaned against the desk, forcing a smile. I thought billionaires had people for that. I do. She finally looked at me. Her blue eyes were sharp, unreadable. You're one of them. I laughed softly, but it didn't reach my chest. Right, employee by day, decoration by night. Her lips curved slightly. Don't make it sound cheap. What else is it? I asked. You call me when you're bored. You drop gifts I never asked for, and you keep me hidden like I'm some dirty secret. Isabella stood, closing the laptop. You knew the rules from the start. I didn't know feelings were against company policy. She walked past me, her perfume trailing behind. Don't get sentimental, Ethan. It doesn't suit you. I'm human, not a project, I said, following her toward the glass wall. You make me feel like one. You make yourself feel like that, she replied quietly. You want it in my world. You got it. Your world? I looked around her office, marble floors, floor-to-ceiling view, and a desk worth more than my car. This isn't a world. It's a cage dressed in gold. Her tone hardened. Then leave it, I swallowed. You don't mean that? She turned back, face unreadable. I always mean what I say. Silence hung between us, heavy and cold. The hum of the city below filled the gap she wouldn't. I finally spoke. You once told me I was special. Her expression softened for half a second. You are. That's why you're still here. That's not love, Isabella. She smirked faintly. Love complicates things. Maybe they should be complicated, I whispered. Maybe that's what makes them real. She brushed past me again, her hand grazing my arm, just enough to confuse me. Don't start. I'm not starting, I said. I'm already in it, she sighed, heading toward the minibar. Whiskey? I don't want to drink. Then what do you want, Ethan? She poured herself one anyway. Tell me. I want you to stop pretending this doesn't mean something. It doesn't, she said too fast. I stared at her. You're lying, she took a slow sip. You're mistaking comfort for connection. Then why keep me? I asked. If it's just convenience, you could find someone else. Because you don't ask for anything, she said softly. And you understand silence. I let out a shaky laugh. So that's what I am, a quiet companion? Her eyes flickered, then cooled again. Don't twist this into poetry, Ethan. You knew what this was. What was it? I challenged. A contract without paper. She set her glass down. You're tired. I'm tired of being nothing more than your secret, I said. Do you even see me outside this office? Of course I do. Really. What's my favorite book? Her pause answered for her. I smiled bitterly. You don't know. Because you never asked. Because it doesn't matter, she said, her voice calm, almost kind. You were never supposed to stay this long. The words hit harder than I expected. So that's it? She walked to the window, staring at the skyline. You're a good man, Ethan. But you're not built for this life. Then tell me what life I'm built for. One where you're not constantly waiting for someone who can't love you back. I took a step closer. You could if you wanted to. She turned, eyes shimmering briefly before hardening again. Don't make me the villain in your story. Then stop acting like one. For a moment, I saw something real in her. Fear, maybe. Then it was gone. You'll thank me one day. For what? Teaching me that love is a business expense? She smiled sadly. For teaching you how the world works. I don't want your world, I said. I just wanted you. Her voice dropped to a whisper. You never had me, Ethan. That silence afterward felt louder than any scream. I stepped back, shaking my head. You know what's funny? I thought you were saving me from ordinary life. Turns out you were just taking it from me. She didn't reply. Just stood there, still as marble. I guess this is the part where I walk away, I said, unless you tell me not to. Her lips parted, but no sound came. That was answer enough. I walked to the elevator, each step heavier than the last. She didn't follow, didn't stop me. When the doors closed, I finally let myself breathe. As the elevator descended, her last words echoed in my head, words I didn't even hear until that moment, spoken like a whisper chasing me out of heaven. You're not built for my world, Ethan. Maybe she was right, but part of me already knew. I was going to build one of my own. I woke up that morning convinced my life was about to change. The promotion list was being announced, and Isabella had promised, "You'll finally get the recognition you deserve." I believed her, foolishly. The conference room was packed. Cameras, reporters, board members, everyone watching. I sat in the front row, heart racing. Isabella stood at the podium, flawless in her gray suit. Confidence dripping off every word. "Today," she said, "we appoint a new chief operating officer to lead Frost Enterprises into the future." My palms were sweating. I straightened my tie. She looked right at me, smiled, then turned to Marcus Hale. "Congratulations, Marcus." Applause exploded. My body froze. For a second, I thought I'd misheard. Marcus stood, grinning like a wolf. He shook her hand, pretending humility. "I'm honored, Isabella. My name never came up. Not once." After the meeting, I waited outside her office, fists tight in my pockets. She finally appeared, expression calm, collected, like nothing had happened. "Why?" I asked. She sighed. "Not here. Then where?" "My office." 5 minutes. When I walked in, she was already pouring herself coffee. "You shouldn't have made a scene," she said. "I didn't," I replied. "But maybe I should have." She gestured for me to sit. "Ethan, you've done good work." "But Marcus, I cut in. Marcus steals credit, lies to clients, and you know it." "He's strategic," she said simply. "He understands the game." "And I don't?" "You're emotional," I laughed bitterly. "Emotional? Because I believed in you?" Her tone didn't change. "Because you confuse loyalty with ownership." "Loyalty?" I said, standing. "You told me this company would be ours someday." She looked up slowly. "I said you'd have a place in it. I didn't promise the throne. So what was I then?" I asked. "Your distraction between meetings?" Her eyes hardened. "Don't do this." "Do what?" "Expect honesty." She took a sip of coffee, eyes on the window. "You're taking this too personally." "How else am I supposed to take it?" "You promised me everything. I promised you nothing," she said quietly. My chest burned. "You used me, Isabella. You let me," she replied. "You knew what this was." "No," I said. "I thought I did. I thought it meant something." She put the cup down, voice colder now. "It was never personal, Ethan." That line hit like a punch. "Never personal?" She didn't look at me. "You're talented, but you were never the right fit for this role." "Or for me." My throat tightened. "You said you needed me." "I needed peace," she said, finally meeting my eyes. "You were my calm in the chaos. But I don't need calm anymore." I stepped closer. "So what, you just trade people like assets?" She flinched slightly but recovered fast. "Don't make this harder than it needs to be." "Harder?" I almost laughed. "You just gutted me in front of the entire board." "Stop dramatizing." "You call that dramatizing?" "You humiliated me." Her jaw clenched. "You're not listening." "I had to make that decision." "No," I said, voice shaking. "You chose to." She turned away. "Marcus is more ruthless. He can handle pressure. And I can't." "You feel too much," she said. "You care too much." "God forbid someone in your world actually have a heart," she sighed. "You'll thank me one day." "For what?" I snapped. "For destroying my career. For freeing you from something that would have broken you." "You already did that." Silence stretched between us. The air felt heavy, suffocating. Finally, I asked, "Was any of it real?" She hesitated. "Parts of it." "Which parts?" "The ones where you didn't ask for anything," she whispered. "That's not love, Isabella. That's convenience. Maybe that's all love ever is." I stared at her, searching for the woman I thought I knew, but all I saw was distance. "I can't believe I ever thought you cared," I said. "I did care," she said softly, "but caring isn't enough. Not for you, no. Ethan, save it," I said, stepping back. "You don't get to explain how you broke me." Her tone turned icy. "If you're done, I'll have security escort you out." I froze. "You're serious?" Her hand hovered over the phone. "Don't make this worse." "Worse than this?" I said. "You just replaced me like an expired contract." "Ethan." Her voice softened again, almost pleading. "Walk away, please," I laughed quietly. "You don't get to ask me for peace after taking mine." She looked away. "Goodbye." I waited for her to change her mind, to say something that would undo the last 10 minutes. but she didn't. When I stepped out of her office, 2 security guards were already waiting. "Mr. Cole," one said politely, "we'll need your badge." I handed it over, fingers trembling. The hallway looked different, colder, emptier. As we walked toward the exit, employees stared, whispering. I caught Marcus watching from across the floor, that smug grin plastered on his face. He mouthed, "Tough break." I wanted to hit him. Instead, I just said, "Enjoy it while it lasts." The guards led me to the elevator. I glanced back one last time, hoping she'd appear. She didn't. When the doors closed, I saw my reflection, tired eyes, clenched jaw, and the ghost of a man who thought love could survive ambition. Her words kept echoing, haunting every corner of my mind. "You were my peace, not my partner." Peace. That's what she called it. Maybe that's why she looked so calm while tearing me apart. The first week after losing my job felt like falling down an endless elevator shaft. No noise, just the impact waiting below. Rent was due. My savings were almost gone. Every time my phone buzzed, it wasn't a message from someone checking in. It was another headline. CEO's ex-employee caught in affair scandal. Ethan Cole, the man who slept his way up. I threw my phone across the room. The screen cracked, but the words were still there. Lena showed up that evening, knocking 3 times before walking in. "You look like hell." "Thanks," I muttered, sitting on the floor surrounded by unopened bills. She glanced around. "You eating?" "I had coffee." "That's not food." "Neither is pity," I said. She sat beside me quiet for a moment. "I saw the article." "Of course you did. Everyone did. It's not fair." "Fair?" I laughed bitterly. "I slept with my boss." "Fair doesn't belong in that sentence," she frowned. "You didn't deserve this, didn't I?" I asked. "I let her use me. I let her control me." I handed her the knife. "You loved her," Lena said softly, "and she loved power." We sat in silence. Outside, sirens echoed through the night. My apartment felt smaller every day, like the walls were closing in to remind me what I'd lost. Lena finally said, "You can still fix your life." "With what? My reputation? My non-existent savings?" "With time! I don't have time," I snapped. "I have rent, shame, and a landlord who doesn't take heartbreak as payment." She didn't flinch. "Then stop feeling sorry for yourself." Easy for you to say. "You didn't get dragged across every news site." "I lost clients too," she said quietly. "People think I knew. They think I helped you hide it." I stared at her. "Why are you still here then?" "Because I know who you are," she said. "And I'm not leaving when everyone else does." I wanted to thank her, but the words stuck in my throat. She stood and grabbed the remote, turning off the TV that had been replaying Isabella's press conference. "Stop watching her," Lena said. "You're torturing yourself." "I can't help it," I admitted. "It's like I need to see her to believe it happened." "She's not worth it." "She was everything," I said. "Every morning, every late night, every stupid hope I had." "She was your boss," Lena corrected. "Not your destiny." Her words stung because they were true. I got up, pacing. "Do you think she ever cared?" Lena hesitated. "Maybe, but caring doesn't excuse what she did." I ran a hand through my hair. I keep hearing her voice. "That last sentence, you were my piece, not my partner." "Then stop replaying it," she said. "You're giving her more power." I looked out the window at the city lights. "She already has all the power." "Not forever," Lena said. "Empires fall too," I turned to her. "You think karma's real?" "I think people eventually trip over their own lies." I smiled faintly. "That's poetic." "I'm serious," she said. "You can't fight her power, Ethan. You'll lose." "Then I'll build my own." The words came out before I even thought them. But once they did, they felt solid, like the first brick of something new. Lena studied me. "You mean that?" "I have to," I said. "If I don't, I'll stay like this, broke, bitter, invisible." "You're not invisible," she said. "You're just lost." "Same thing," I muttered. She crossed her arms. "Then find your way back. You built half of her campaigns." "You can build something for yourself," I laughed softly. "A company built on heartbreak? Call it what you want. Just don't let this be your ending." Her voice cracked a little, and I realized she cared more than I deserved. I sat again, quieter now.
You really think I can come back from this?
I don't think, she said. I know. For the first time in weeks, I wanted to believe her. She picked up one of the bills. Start small. Figure out what you're good at. You don't need her name to be somebody. I looked around at the empty apartment. She took everything. She didn't take your talent, Lena said. She just blinded you to it. That line hit harder than any insult ever could. Why are you always right? I asked. Because someone has to be, she said, smiling faintly. We talked for hours. About work, survival, stupid things we missed. For a while, I forgot the noise outside. When she finally left, the silence felt different. Not empty, just waiting. I looked at the cracked phone on the floor, the one still glowing with rumors and lies. I picked it up and deleted every notification, every picture of Isabella, every reminder of who I used to be. Then I opened a blank document on my laptop and typed 2 words at the top. New start. I didn't know what that meant yet, but for the first time I wanted to find out. Outside, the city hummed like a living thing, loud, merciless, alive. I whispered to it to myself, maybe to her ghost still lingering in my mind. I'm not done yet. The office wasn't really an office, just a rented room above a coffee shop with peeling paint and a flickering bulb. But it was mine. Lena leaned against the desk, sipping her drink. You know, most people start a business with a plan, not a grudge. I have both, I said, typing the last line of a client proposal. Oh, really? She teased.
Care to share this brilliant plan?
Work twice as hard, make half the excuses, she laughed. Sounds painful. Pain built it, I said. Her smile faded a little. You're really doing this, huh? I have to, I replied. I can't let her name be the only one people remember. Lena sat across from me. Then let's make yours louder. We'd been running for 3 months now. Cole Consulting, a firm with 2 laptops, 3 clients, and enough caffeine to power a small city. Most days started with doubt. But every time I felt the old fear creeping back, I'd remember Isabella's last words and keep going. Lily Chen walked in that morning, holding a folder. I got the reports from the design team, Lena blinked. You're early. I've been early since I got fired, Lily said flatly. I looked up. You sure you want to be here? You worked for her. I worked under her, Lily corrected. Big difference. And for the record, I didn't leak your emails. I never said you did. You didn't have to. The air tensed. Then I nodded. All right. Welcome to the team, she raised a brow. That's it? That's it, I said. You want forgiveness, earn it, she gave a small smirk. I can work with that, Lena grinned. I like her already. The 3 of us dove into work. For hours, it was a blur of client calls, spreadsheets, and coffee refills. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real. Around noon, Lena said, We need branding. We have a name, I replied. We need more than that, she said. Something that says who we are. We? I repeated. She gave me a look. Don't start with that lone wolf nonsense again. You wouldn't last a week without me. She's right, Lily added. You talk like a motivational poster but live like a ghost, I smirked. A ghost that pays your salaries. Barely, Lena muttered. I leaned back in my chair. All right. What do we stand for? Lena thought. Integrity, Lily added. Transparency. I said quietly, truth. Lena looked at me. That's the one, isn't it? I nodded. If she built her empire from greed, I'll build mine from truth. The room went silent. Even the flickering bulb seemed to pause. Then Lena smiled. There's your tagline. For the first time in months, I felt something close to pride. By evening, we had new clients on the line. Small startups, but real ones. Every signature felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. After the last call, I sat on the balcony overlooking the street below. Lena joined me holding 2 mugs of coffee. You're smiling, she said. I forgot how that felt. Don't lose it again. I might, I admitted. If she finds out we're doing well, she will, Lena said. But maybe that's a good thing. Why? Because she'll know you didn't break. I looked at her. You think I'll ever stop caring what she thinks? Probably not, she said. But you'll stop needing her approval. I didn't reply. Some wounds don't close, they just stop bleeding. As we talked, Lily stepped outside holding her phone. "Ethan, there's someone here to see you." "Who?" She hesitated. "Thomas." My stomach tightened. "Isabella's assistant?" Lena stood. "What the hell does he want?" Thomas entered a moment later, nervous and pale. He held a brown envelope in both hands. "I shouldn't be here." "Then don't be," I said coldly. "I came to make things right." Lily crossed her arms. "You were her messenger. You helped cover for Marcus." Thomas winced. "Not anymore." I looked at the envelope. "What's in there?" "Files," he said. "Internal audits. Proof of Marcus's offshore accounts. He's been stealing for years." I stared at him. "Why bring this to me?" "Because she doesn't know yet," he said. "And you deserve a chance to fight back." Lena took a cautious step forward. "What's the catch?" "No catch," Thomas said. "Just guilt." He placed the envelope on the desk and turned to leave. "Thomas," I called. "Why now?" He hesitated at the door. "Because I saw what she did to you, and I know what he's doing to her." Then he was gone. Silence filled the room. Lena whispered, "Is this real?" I opened the envelope. The documents looked legitimate. Account transfers, email threads, contracts. My pulse quickened. Lily said softly, "If this is true, you could destroy them both." I met her eyes. "Or I could free myself from them." Lena frowned. "You're really thinking about walking away?" "I'm thinking about choosing my war," I said. "And this time it's on my terms." She smiled faintly. "You sound dangerous again." "Good," I said. "It means I'm alive." I held the envelope up to the light, the city glow catching its edges. For the first time, revenge didn't feel like poison. It felt like purpose. "Let's see what truth can build," I said quietly. The news broke on a Wednesday morning. Marcus Hale accused of laundering millions through shell firms under Frost Dynamics. The headline screamed from every screen in my office. Lena leaned over my desk. "You actually did it." "I released the files," I said calmly. "Truth belongs to everyone," she grinned. "You sound like a preacher." "I'm just tired of pretending silence is noble," Lily burst in, holding her phone. "It's everywhere. Financial networks, blogs, even Reddit. They're calling him the ghost whistleblower." I almost smiled. "Catchy," Lena tilted her head. "You realize she's going to call, right?" "She already did," I said, pointing to the flashing light on my phone. 3 times, Lily whispered. "You're not going to answer, are you?" "I'm not sure yet." The phone rang again. I picked it up. "Ethan." Her voice was sharp, composed, and cold. "Morning, Isabella." "Was it you?" I leaned back in my chair. "You'll have to be more specific." "Don't play games with me," she snapped. "Those files, Marcus's accounts. Only someone with inside knowledge could have leaked that. I guess your walls weren't as high as you thought." "Ethan, answer me." I smiled slightly. "I'm just doing what you taught me. Business without emotions." There was a pause. Then she said, "You have no idea what you've started." "I do," I replied quietly. "It's called accountability. Marcus will come after you." "Let him," I said. "He's been chasing ghosts his whole life." "You think this makes you strong?" She hissed. "You're nothing without me." I laughed once. "Funny, I used to think the same thing about you." She went silent. Then softly, "You won't win, Ethan." "I already did," I said. "You just haven't realized it yet." The line went dead. Lena exhaled. "That was brutal." "I wasn't trying to be," I said, staring at the skyline. "I just stopped lying." Lily sat across from me. She sounded scared. "She's never scared," I replied. "Just calculating." "Maybe this time it's both." I turned to the window. The city buzzed below, people rushing, phones ringing, 1,000 lives moving while mine burned and rebuilt itself. Lena tapped her laptop. "We're trending, by the way." "Us?" "Cole Consulting," she said. "A few investors just sent inquiries. One of them is James Wilder." I froze. "Wilder Group?" She nodded. "He wants a meeting." "Says he likes your principled aggression." "Whatever that means," I smirked. "It means he smells blood in the water." Lena leaned forward. "You going to take it?" "I'd be stupid not to," Lily frowned. "You think this is revenge or redemption?" "Does it matter?" I said. "They both get results." She looked away. "Just don't lose yourself chasing her shadow." Her words hung in the air. I didn't reply. I didn't have to. 2 hours later, I met James Wilder in a downtown cafe. He was everything Isabella wasn't. Loud, blunt, and unfiltered. "So you're the guy who just set Frost Dynamics on fire," he said, shaking my hand. "I lit a match," I said. "The fire was already there," he laughed. "I like that. You've got guts. I could use a man like you." "I'm not for hire," I said. "Partnerships only." "Even better," he grinned. "How about seed capital? You expand, I take a minority stake," I studied him. "Why me?" "Because the world loves a fallen man who learns to fly again." I couldn't help but smile. "Then let's make some noise." By evening, the deal was in motion. Calls, contracts, NDAs, everything moved fast. Lena spun in her chair. "You realize this puts us on the map, right?" "That's the plan," I said. Lily added quietly. "And it puts you back in her orbit." "I'm already there," I said. "But this time, I'm the storm." When I got home that night, the city lights flickered against my window. My phone buzzed again. One new message from Isabella. "You think this ends with Marcus? Watch your back." I stared at the screen for a long time before replying. It doesn't end. It evolves. Then I turned off the phone. For the first time since she broke me, I felt something close to peace. Not because I'd hurt her, because I'd finally stopped needing her permission to fight. The ballroom glittered like a battlefield dressed in gold. Frost Dynamics' annual gala, the kind of event I used to attend as a ghost in her shadow. Now I was the rival. Lena whispered beside me. "You sure about this?" I adjusted my tie. She wanted me here. Let's give her what she wants. Public execution or reunion? Depends on who bleeds first. Lily appeared, tablet in hand. Our contract with Zenith Tech just went live. They're cutting Frost Dynamics out of their renewal. I smiled faintly. That should get her attention. It already has, she said, nodding toward the stairs. Isabella Frost descended like a queen without a throne. Silver dress, cold eyes, applause following her every step. When her gaze met mine, the room fell quiet. She approached slowly. "Ethan Cole," she said. "The man of the hour." "Isabella Frost," I replied. Still allergic to humility, I see. A hint of a smile touched her lips. "You've grown bolder." "I had good teachers," I said, her tone sharpened. "You really think you can beat me?" "I already did." She leaned closer, her perfume cutting through the air like memory. "You might have wounded me, but I built this empire." "And I built the foundation you buried it on," I said quietly. "Now it's cracking," her eyes darkened. "You're playing a dangerous game, only because you taught me the rules." For a moment, neither of us spoke. The crowd around us pretended not to watch, but every whisper fed the tension. Then she smiled, the kind of smile that once disarmed me.
You think you're untouchable now with your shiny little firm?
"I think I'm finally free," she tilted her head. "Freedom doesn't last long in business. Neither does arrogance." Her expression froze. "Enjoy your moment, Ethan, it won't last." Before I could reply, Marcus appeared, smirking. "You two still at it? Adorable. Shame about your new partners, Ethan. They'll regret trusting you." I turned. "Still cleaning up other people's messes, Marcus?" He grinned. "At least I'm still standing." "Not for long," a voice cut in. It was Thomas stepping out from the crowd, holding his phone up. "You might want to check your inbox, Marcus." Marcus frowned. "What the hell is this?" Thomas smirked. "Evidence, fraud, bribes, offshore accounts. I sent it to the authorities 5 minutes ago." Marcus lunged toward him, but security intercepted. The music stopped as cameras turned. Isabella hissed, "What did you do?" I crossed my arms. "Looks like your empire just lost its backbone." "Don't act innocent," she snapped. "You set this up." I met her eyes. "No, I just let the truth breathe." The room erupted. Gasps, reporters whispering, phones flashing. Marcus shouted as they escorted him out. "You'll regret this, Cole. All of you!" Lena grabbed my arm. "We should go before this turns ugly." I think it already did. We stepped out into the night air. Cameras followed us down the marble steps. I could hear Isabella behind me calling my name, but I didn't turn. In the car, Lena exhaled. "Well, that was chaos. Necessary chaos," I said. Lily glanced back from the front seat. "She's finished, isn't she?" "Not yet," I said. "She'll fight." That's who she is. Then what was that look she gave you at the end? I stared out the window. Desperation. My phone buzzed. A news alert. Marcus Hale arrested for financial crimes. Frost Dynamics under federal investigation. Lena grinned. Guess karma works fast. Truth travels faster, I said. She studied me. Do you feel better? Not really, I admitted. Winning doesn't fix the past. It just changes who remembers it. Later that night, I stood on my balcony, city lights stretching beneath me. The air smelled like rain and endings. My phone lit up again. Isabella. I hesitated, then answered. Her voice was different this time. Quieter. You really did it. I told you I would. They're calling me ruthless, corrupt, finished, she said softly. Does it make you happy? No, I said. It makes me free. You ruined me, Ethan. No, I whispered. You ruined us. There was silence. Then she said, You always wanted to be my equal. I never wanted to be you. Her breath trembled through the line. Then what do you want now? I looked at the skyline. To build something that doesn't break people. Then maybe you were the better one all along. Maybe, I said. But I had to lose everything to learn it, she sighed. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Isabella. I ended the call. For a long moment, I just stood there, the city roaring below. The ghosts of power fading in the wind. Lena's voice echoed in my mind. Don't lose yourself chasing her shadow. I smiled faintly. Too late for that, I murmured. But at least I learned how to walk in the light again. The news hit before sunrise. Isabella Knight Holdings files for bankruptcy. Lena burst into my office, phone in hand. You did it, she said. I looked up from my laptop. No, I murmured. She did. She dropped into the chair opposite me. You're trending everywhere. They're calling you the Ice Queen's karma. I smirked faintly. Catchy. You're not even going to celebrate? I don't celebrate endings, I said. Only beginnings, Lena sighed. You really have changed. Good, I replied. That means I learned something. By noon, I was standing inside the boardroom of what used to be her empire. The marble floors, the glass walls, all identical to how she'd built them, but colder now, emptier. Her employees avoided my eyes as I signed the final purchase documents. James Wilder shook my hand. Congratulations, Ethan. You own majority shares now. The Queen's crown is yours, I smiled. I don't need a crown. Just results, he chuckled. You're ruthless, I'm just like her. I met his gaze. No, I'm focused, not ruthless. When the meeting ended, I stayed behind. The silence of the room felt almost sacred, like standing inside the ghost of our past. My reflection on the glass table looked sharper, harder. The man she left behind was gone. The door opened softly. Her perfume arrived before she did. Isabella. She walked in slowly, dressed impeccably as always, but something in her posture had cracked. Pride bent into exhaustion. So, she said quietly, you finally got what you wanted. I met her eyes. No, Isabella. I got what you threw away, she laughed weakly. You really think you're any different? You built this company the same way I did, through revenge. Maybe, I said, but I didn't destroy people to do it. I exposed them, she stepped closer. You think that makes you better than me? I don't think, I said evenly. I know. Her lips trembled, though she tried to hide it. They all left me. Marcus, the board, even my PR team. You took everything, I shook my head. No. You gave everything away the moment you believed you were untouchable. Her voice cracked. You won, Ethan. The words hung heavy in the air, not triumphant, but broken. I took a breath. No, Isabella. You lost yourself. She blinked rapidly, trying to hold back tears. You sound just like I did when I first started. Maybe that's the difference, I said. You built an empire to prove something. I built mine to rebuild myself. She smiled faintly, the kind of smile that hurts more than tears. You really loved me, didn't you? I did, I said. But the man who loved you doesn't exist anymore. A pause stretched between us, long, silent, final. She whispered, I used to admire your fire. I should have seen it coming. I turned to the window, watching the city lights below.
Fire doesn't care who it burns, Isabella.
Only who feeds it. She stood behind me for a while, then said softly, "Goodbye, Ethan." I didn't turn around. "Goodbye." The door clicked shut. Lena entered moments later. Was that her? Yes. What did she say? Enough. Lena looked at the documents on the table. So what now? I smiled faintly. Now we build. She tilted her head. And her? She'll either rise again, I said quietly, or drown in the ruins she made. Outside, reporters shouted my name as we walked toward the elevator. Cameras flashed, voices clashed. "Ethan Cole, how does it feel taking over Isabella Knight Holdings?" I gave a calm smile. It feels like balance. In the elevator's reflection, I saw the headlines flicker across Lena's phone. From betrayed to billionaire, the fall of the Ice Queen, the rise of the Phoenix. Lena nudged me. "You know, Karma doesn't usually dress this well," I chuckled. "Maybe Karma learned to wear a suit." The elevator doors opened to the city skyline. I stepped out, the wind sharp against my face, carrying the faint echo of her voice from years ago. "You'll never survive without me," I whispered to the air. "Watch me." The boardroom smelled the same, polished oak, burnt coffee, and ambition. My nameplate sat in front of me, Ethan Cole, Chairman. The title felt heavier than I imagined. Lily leaned toward me and whispered, "You should smile. It's your first day as chairman." I adjusted my tie. I'm not sure I remember how. The board members murmured among themselves. Cameras flashed, pens scribbled. James Wilder cleared his throat. "Congratulations, Ethan. You've earned this." I nodded. "Thank you, James." He gestured toward the end of the table. "You'll notice we left that seat open, as a reminder of where this company came from." My eyes landed on it. Isabella's old chair, empty, untouched, and louder than any applause in the room. "Let's begin," I said. The meeting rolled forward. Projections, budgets, growth forecasts, numbers blurred as voices rose and fell. Every time I glanced at that chair, I felt the echo of her voice. "You'll never sit here, Ethan. You don't have the stomach for it. Mr. Chairman," one of the directors said, "your approval on the Wilder proposal?" I blinked. "Approved." Lily slipped me a note under the table. "You're somewhere else again." I sighed and whispered, "Maybe that's where I belong." When the meeting ended, the others filed out, shaking hands, congratulating me like it was a coronation. I waited until the last door closed. Silence. Lily stayed behind, arms crossed. "You looked miserable up there." "I thought I'd feel something," I said quietly. "Victory, satisfaction, anything. But it's just empty." She walked closer. "Because revenge isn't supposed to fill you. It's supposed to free you." I looked at her. "Then why do I still feel chained?" She sat on the edge of the table. "Because part of you still cares about her." I laughed softly. "Care? No. I just can't seem to forget the lessons she burned into me. Which are? Never trust promises. Never confuse power with love. Never expect gratitude." Lily tilted her head. "You sound like her now." Maybe that's the price of surviving her. She studied me for a moment. "You know, she once told me you were too soft to lead." I smirked. "Then softness won, didn't it?" "No," Lily said gently. "You did. But at what cost?" I turned toward the window. The city stretched endlessly below. Towers, lights, lives moving forward without hesitation. I thought taking her chair would fix everything. But sitting here, all I feel is the ghost of what she built. "Maybe you don't need to erase her ghost," Lily said. "Maybe you just need to outgrow it." I looked at her, really looked. "You always know what to say." "That's because I've watched you climb from nothing," she said. "You didn't destroy her, Ethan. You just stopped her from destroying you." Her words sank deeper than I expected. "Do you think she hates me?" I asked. "She probably hates herself more," Lily replied. Losing control was her worst nightmare. She taught me control, I said quietly. And I turned it into discipline. Lily smiled. Then let that be your legacy. Not revenge, not resentment, just resilience. I sat back down, staring at the chair again. Revenge doesn't heal, I murmured. It only balances. And sometimes, Lily added, balance is enough. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The late sunlight poured through the windows, catching dust in golden streaks. The room felt less like a battlefield, more like a graveyard, not for her, but for who I used to be. Lily stood. Come on, you've got an empire to run, I smiled faintly, and a ghost to let go of. As we walked out, I glanced one last time at Isabella's chair. Empty, silent, eternal. Maybe that's how every empire ends. Not with noise, but with absence. I turned off the lights. Goodbye, Isabella. Lily waited at the door. Ready, Chairman? I exhaled. Yeah, ready. And for the first time, I didn't look back. She came without warning. No entourage, no perfume cloud announcing her presence, just Isabella standing in my doorway like a ghost that remembered how to breathe. Ethan, she said softly. You look different. I should, I replied, setting my pen down. Chairmen don't have time to look like heartbreak, she smiled faintly. Still sharp? Her eyes wandered around the office. It suits you better than it ever did me. Funny, I said.
You used to say I'd never survive in this world. I was wrong, she admitted, walking closer.
You didn't just survive. You replaced me, I leaned back. That was never the plan. Plans change, she whispered. Silence settled between us, filled with everything we'd never said when it mattered. She looked smaller now, not in stature but in presence. The fire that once burned in her eyes was ash. I wanted to see it, she said finally. What you built from what I destroyed. Then look around, I said. It's built on the ruins you left behind, she nodded slowly. I deserve that, I folded my hands. Why are you here, Isabella? She hesitated. Because I needed to say something before disappearing for good. Disappearing? I sold the last of my shares. I'm leaving the city. I studied her face, like the calm, the exhaustion, the acceptance. Running away again? No, she said softly. For once, I'm just leaving. I didn't respond. I didn't know how. I used to envy you, she continued. Your sincerity. Your ability to believe in people. I could never buy that no matter how much I earned. I laughed under my breath. You tried to own everything else. Her lips curved in a sad smile. Including you. And you did, I said. For a while, she looked down. I loved you, Ethan, in my own broken way. My throat tightened. For a moment, I almost believed her. Almost let myself slip back into that dangerous softness she always found in me. I know, I said quietly, and I loved you enough to let you go. Her eyes glistened. You've changed. No, I said. I just stopped mistaking pain for love, she nodded. Maybe that's something I'll never learn. I stood, walking to the window. You could, if you stopped trying to win. Her reflection appeared beside mine in the glass. Winning was all I ever knew. That's why you lost, I said. She turned toward the door but paused. Do you ever miss me? I thought about it. The nights, the lies, the laughter that tasted like ambition. Sometimes, I admitted. But I don't miss who I was with you. She closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them again. Calm, steady. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Isabella. She walked out without another word. No heels clicking like thunder. No scent lingering in her wake. Just silence, clean and final. When the door shut, I stood there for a long while, staring at the empty space she'd left behind. Then I moved, slowly, deliberately, through the halls of the company that once bore her signature, now bearing mine. Every corridor whispered pieces of our history, ambition, betrayal, resurrection. But none of it mattered anymore. Power, I realized, was just another illusion, one I had finally learned to see through. I stopped by the window overlooking the city. The skyline glowed gold against the fading blue of evening. For the first time in years, it didn't look like a battlefield. Maybe it was peace. Or maybe it was just the absence of war. Either way, it was enough. I took a breath and whispered, "Maybe I finally learned how to live."